Hello and welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're talking today about financial planning for women. I'm joined by Jeannie Mraz with SVA Plumb Financial. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me here today.
This is a huge topic. We're talking a little bit before the break, or on the break rather, about some of the things surrounding this. But what's unique specifically to women about financial planning?
Well, several things for women. We all know that we're living longer, but on average, a healthy 65-year-old woman has a 50% chance of living to age 88 compared to a healthy 65-year-old man who has a 50% chance of living to 83. And this continues with aging. We see that women on average live about 3 years longer, and so women have a greater need for financial planning, especially for those later years, to make sure that they have the assets that will help provide their income in retirement. Also, women can often at some point find themselves being single, whether it was single by choice or say because of a divorce or death. And we often have less time in the workforce because of caregiving responsibilities. Women with children under the age of 3 have a 63% participation in the labor force versus almost 94% for men with children of the same age. So in that parenting split, we still see that women are taking more time out of the workforce, and therefore when they reach retirement, they have left saved up. And also for the more women work in lower paying jobs than men do. So there's just this imbalance between what we're able to save because of time that we spend in the workforce and also living longer. It's really important to make sure that we've got the money there to provide income, whether it's for independent living in older age or if there's some form of extended care needed.
So some of these things that might be sort of intuitive to us, when you hear the statistics, it really brings it home to how important making some of these considerations might be. So let's talk about what women should consider regarding financial planning, now knowing some of these statistics.
Well, you need to start by organizing your resources. And so financial planning is a process, and it's not a one and done. So when we're looking at it, depending on the life stage, there's financial planning that follows you through every life stage. So say it's a younger woman, perhaps she is single, but she's a parent, or she's going through a divorce, or an older woman maybe is divorced or widowed. The first thing we need to do is help her organize, what do you have? Let's see what you have at this point. What are your needs going to be? Perhaps you want to save for your child's college expenses, but at the same time save for retirement. So we're looking at these with different scenarios then on how do we make sure the resources are going to support that, or if it doesn't look like they will, what are some things that perhaps she should be doing that will help her reach her goals?
A lot to consider. We've got about a minute left, Jeannie, and I want to talk about estate planning and documents specifically before we go.
Right, and that is so important. Probably the most important document of any estate plan documents you need to have is, if you've got children, have a will or a trust that appoints who the guardian will be, because you'd rather have that choice. Estate planning, think of it as you're doing it for your loved ones. Another very important document is to have a healthcare power of attorney. So say if you get ill and you can't communicate or make the decisions for yourself, you need that trusted person who's going to represent your wishes. And then also someone to handle your finances. And in later stages of life, if you become incapacitated, you want to make sure you've communicated those wishes to your family or to whoever you've appointed to be that trusted person for you. And if you have young adult children, you really want to make sure that they also have healthcare power of attorney, so that if something happens to them, the natural assumption is, well, I'm your mom, I should be able to talk to your doctor, but technically the law, they don't have to. And so it's really important to have that healthcare power of attorney for your young adult children. Any of them who are over 18, you really should make sure that they have that.
And because there's so much to know, it's so important to talk to an expert. So I appreciate your wealth of knowledge as a wealth manager.
Thank you.
Pun intended. Lots of information. We'll have you back, of course. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
Again, Jeannie Mraz from SVA Plumb Financial. You're watching Talk of the Town, and we've got more information up after the break. Stick with us.